Well, Gwen, I'm back here again, and I just want to say I'm glad to be here and be able to share my story. They put a lot of emphasis on it. I do understand that it is quite different from the average person, but I just don't put that much emphasis on it outside of using it to help other people. You know, that's the main thing. Well, I heard about your hometown, or I guess it's your hometown, and the amount of the population, and I grew up in a town that was relatively small as well. Basically 1,800 people. It's a little bit more than Florence, did you say? Flowers? Flowers. It's a little bit more than, but still, like I said, it's a small place. But anyway, how do many people feel that it's a possibility that people can change, or that people do change? Anybody feel that way? Yeah, people do change. Yeah, and they can. They do have the ability to do so. One of the things that I'm just going to take you all on a journey about people changing. I see you back there, Ross. Well, my mom was a very humble woman, and my dad was a pretty bold, outspoken man. But I loved him dearly as well as I did my mother. Now, we didn't have a lot of money, but what we didn't have in money, my mother made up for in love. I grew up in a small town, like I said earlier, no more than 1,800 people. The population has remained that way for the past 3 decades, but it was a great place, you know, to be reared. And I didn't know a whole lot about the secular world, and like I said, because of my mother and my father separating, naturally I was closer to my mom because she actually reared me. And that's a photo of my mom during her second marriage. But like I said, I loved her dearly. Now, I wasn't like the average teenager. And the reason why I wasn't like the average teenager during my high school years is because my life included books and Bible, academics and spirituality. That's pretty much it. Now, we did have our recreational times, but it wasn't what everybody else considered to be recreation as a teenager. Like I said, we had a pretty strict type of environment, and I didn't know a lot about the secular activities or what other people do outside. We kind of lived a sheltered, very, very sheltered life. But anyway, by the time I entered into my senior year, which is this is me in my senior year, there was a guy, quarterback of the football team. I was a braces wearing person. My teeth that's after the braces. But anyway, I was a square, nerdy-looking type person, and he was quarterback of the football team. Nonetheless, swept me off my feet, and I fell in love with him. But the thing of it is he turned out to be a very abusive person, and I didn't know that he was involved in certain activities. But by the time I found out, and the abuse, at this age, I'd already began the course of hopelessness and hadn't reached 18 years old yet. Now, after this, it wasn't over for me yet after going through what I went through with him at that time. After that, my mother, the one that I showed you the picture of here, she suffered a mental breakdown of which she never recovered. And her mental health continued to deteriorate until she got to a point where she took a gun, pointed at her heart, and committed suicide. At that time, I was 2 months shy of 19 years old. Now, I know Lieutenant Jones Gary spoke about people getting into these deep depressions, some of them never recovering. They're feeling the outlet or the only way out is here. That's what happened to my mom. Now, it has a domino effect. I was the oldest child of my mother, 2 months shy of my 19th birthday. Because of the way that impacted me, what ended up happening is this is where I went. This is where I went. I went from this, before my mother's suicide, in a short period, to here. Those are two different people. Right here, what you see is a woman. There was a person that told me when they look into this person's eyes, it's as if they're looking into a dead person's eyes. And pretty much that's what it was. Life, and for me, though I was still breathing, inside I was dead. So as a result, this place came easy for me. It came easy for me because there was a lot of rage, a lot of anger, and a whole lot of pain as a result of my mom's suicide and what happened to me. So that was not from working a 9 to 5. That was as a result of illegal activities, which led to 23 years in federal prison, of which I spent 20 years in prison with that particular name under Vanessa Wade in the Federal Bureau of Prison for almost 20 years. And that's where I remained. Because of not dealing with that pain properly, which you already saw the pictures, I headed straight to a road of destruction. There are some photos on here, but I'm going to get a larger version of it so that you can see what happened. Now, look at what's happening here. What's happening here is my mother had to have a mental breakdown, just like, I think you're 21. You're 21 years old?
Yes.
And how old are you? How old are you? 24? Oh, good girl. And how old are you, Ross? 13. 13? Okay, so I was somewhere in between these gentlemen's age here. And how old are you? 12? Okay. But I wore braces just like you too. But anyway, I was somewhere in their age range. My mom, parents are important to their kids. She was not able to deal with what was going on with her. She took her life, and as a result, here's the kid in their age range, somewhere in between their ages, who was probably just like these boys. They looked like good guys. And poof, I flipped, headed right here because of that impact and what happened to me. Now, I also had a brother. This is my brother. This is a photo of my brother. Look, just like these gentlemen, young guys in here, does he not? Good, clean-cut kid. Again, we were raised with academics and spirituality. That's what it was. My mom took her life. This is where my brother ended. And Vikki was accepted into college. And this is where I ended. This is me up here. I'm going to bring this around a little bit. That's me in handcuffs and shackles going to see my brother at the funeral, flying from Kentucky down here to Florida. And again, it stemmed from going back here, my mother's suicide, her kid, which was me, headed to prison, brother going to the grave.
How did that?
He was murdered. The weekend somebody killed him, the week he was accepted into college. Because that route that I chose that led me here, I chose that route. I wouldn't say it was a open-eyed choice, that my eyes were open to what I was. It was a blinded choice because I felt I need to hurry up, make some fast money because my younger brother and my sister, they need mom. Though I was only 3 years older than him, 6 years older than my sister, I need to do something and fast. We need a home. They do not need to feel the pain of their mom. Just that simple. So I need to do what I have to do, which led me here, with fast money, to ensure that my brother and my sister, education, and that's what I pumped into them. And like I said, he did get accepted into college, but of that week he was murdered. And another thing, as I went through, let me see here, no, not that one. As I went through my prison sentence, it came a point where I started getting tired. And one